All fish are divided into three classes: bony fish, cartilaginous fish, and jawless fish. However, during the Devonian period, there were fish belonging to none of these classes. They existed in both marine and freshwater environments and were the most widespread fish on Earth. The fish are known as placoderms. Before their appearance, the dominant marine life forms were cephalopods of various shapes and sizes, as well as eurypterids. However, the mass extinction event at the end of the Ordovician period greatly reduced the numbers of the latter and led to the disappearance of the gigantic cephalopods. As a result, fish became the dominant group in marine ecosystems. Placoderms evolved from jawless forms in the early Silurian, around the time when cartilaginous fish first appeared, and the fossil remains of earliest bony fish were found in late Silurian sediments. Like early cartilaginous fish, placoderms also had primitive jaws and cartilaginous skeleton, but they evolved in such a way that their heads and bodies were protected by thick armor. In the early Devonian, armored fish were already widespread in both marine and freshwater ecosystems around the world, but their evolutionary heyday was yet to come. During the Devonian period, the Earth underwent significant changes. From the beginning to the end of this period, there were powerful volcanic eruptions in Asia that could have been responsible for 3 mass extinctions in the Devonian period. The constant drift of the continents led to the formation of the supercontinent Pangaea in the following period. Temperature fluctuations occurred periodically during the Devonian. In the early Devonian, the Earth's average annual temperature was about 16 degrees Celsius. In the middle Devonian, it was 5 degrees lower. The temperature drop is considered a consequence of the emergence of the first forests. They reduced the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by absorbing it. However, in the late Devonian, temperatures rose again to levels characteristic of the early Devonian, although there was no corresponding increase in CO2 content. The Devonian period is also known as the Age of Fish. It witnessed a significant increase in the diversity of both bony and cartilaginous fish. A particularly important event was the emergence of lobe-finned fish in the early Devonian, a subclass of bony fish. During evolution, the fins of some of these fish evolved into the limbs of the first tetrapods. After 2 extinctions, one in the Middle Devonian and one in the Late Devonian, the diversity of placoderms successfully recovered once more in the Late Devonian, and they still were the rulers of the ocean. The most widespread of the 8 known orders were Antiarchs and Arthrodires. Whereas the jaws of the large species of these orders were earlier mostly cartilaginous, in the Late Devonian, they were bony. The heavy protective armor covered Antiarchs all the way to the tail, while Arthrodires had their armor reduced, particularly in the area of the pectoral fins. They grew larger. Antiarchs were bottom dwellers, mainly feeding on benthic organisms. Arthrodires, on the other hand, were predators of the surface and midwater layers, at the top of the food chain. Some species of this order had well-developed scleral rings. If these structures evolved in a certain way, they could effectively protect the eyes, particularly during intense changes in pressure. These species could dominate even the deeper regions of the ocean. The largest known species of the order Antiarchi, Bothriolepes, reached 170 centimeters in length, while the largest species of the order Arthrodira were Dunkleosteus and Titanichthys. Although Titanichthys fed by filtering out food from the water like the blue whale, its size was comparable to that of Dunkleosteus, who was the dominant predator of Devonian seas. Thanks to its 4-bar linkage mechanism, Dunkleosteus could open and close its jaws incredibly fast, several times faster than the blink of a human eye. Such rapid jaw opening was a key component in generating a suction current that drew in prey. Equipped with sharp plates instead of teeth and functioning like a guillotine, its jaws had a bite force comparable to that of a polar bear, and they were capable of crushing not only the armor of ammonites, but also that of other armored fish. However, at the boundary between the Devonian and Carboniferous periods, the 3rd mass extinction occurred. The 3 extinctions that took place during the Devonian period are considered to be one mass extinction event, which is ranked among the top 5 in Earth's history. Only some Antiarchs survived it. After the extinction of armored fish in the early Carboniferous, sharks became the dominant forms of marine life. Thanks for watching.